Okay, we got to talk about this potential government shutdown. I know that it is not exciting and thrilling a story as some of the other ones that I'm going to go through today, but it is vastly more important than most of the shit that I'm going to talk about. This budget fight and our Democratic leadership basically just bending the knee and being the bitches that they are. Now, if you remember back about 6 months ago, literally almost 6 months ago to the day, there was a continuing resolution fight. They were trying to fund the government, and Chuck Schumer was trying and succeeded in getting a handful of Democratic senators to capitulate to the right wing so the government wouldn't shut down. He said, well, if we shut down the government, all hell's going to break loose, and Donald Trump is going to do all of these things like cutting Medicaid and cutting into food stamps and increasing the budget for ICE and all that stuff, which all of the things that they've actually done in the last 6 months. So this whole idea of if we shut down the government, Donald Trump is going to do bad shit. Well, guess what? You didn't shut down the government, and Donald Trump still did the bad shit and put it into law. So anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is Chuck Schumer. He's on the State of the Union with Dana Bash. And this is, goddamn, man, he is the weakest. No commentary. Here, just listen.
Changes, negotiation or not, there will be a vote on the day of the deadline, a week from Tuesday. If nothing changes, are you going to vote no and urge your Democratic colleagues to vote no, which will end with the shutdown?
Look, we hope it doesn't come to that.
But what if it does?
Because everyone knows the American people are on our side, Dana. By almost 2-1, they believe if there's a shutdown, it's going to be caused by Trump, because they know how much they want relief in the health care issue, and they know he's not negotiating. So it's up to them, and I hope and pray that Trump...
He hopes and prays. What the hell is that, man? We're going in with hopes and prayers? Use your leverage. Look, I got to say this. Goddamn, man. You have power. You have the ability to get some things out of this. You go in there with a handful of, hey, we want to stop the concentration camps and the ICE Gestapo going throughout the country, just snatching people off the streets. We want people to stop funding the Israeli military and their genocide. We want you to stop all the tariff wars that are going on across the planet. And Donald Trump is just fucking up the economic bag for everybody. You could go in there with a stack of shit. We want you to get rid of the Medicaid cuts, the $900 billion cut to Medicaid. Right now, he's trying to go in here with the smallest little veneer of, hey, continue the subsidies for the ACA. That way that the people who are buying healthcare on the market don't have their prices go up, because that is coming. Anywhere between 15 to 25%, your insurance will be going up. And that's what he's going in there with. Just this one little thing. This is the thing that pisses me off about Democrats. They go in with a compromise and then they walk out with half the compromise. Go in there with way more than you want, and then maybe you'll walk out of there with twice as much as you thought you would get. That's how you negotiate. When you go to sell your used car and you want to get $8,000 out of it, you don't say, hey, I want $8,000. You say, I want $10,000. And then let the negotiations happen. And then maybe you'll walk out with $8,000. Instead of going, well, I want $8,000, but I don't want to seem like I'm asking for too much, so I'm going to just ask for $6,000. And then you end up only getting $5,000. That's the technique that Chuck Schumer's going with, this whole thoughts and prayers shit. Anyway, the budget's coming up at the end of the month. And she's asking him, hey, if they don't give you anything, are you going to vote no? And here he is, hopes and prayers.
Will sit down with us and negotiate a bipartisan bill. That's how it's always been done in the past. That's how shutdowns have been avoided.
No, it is not how it's always been done in the past. In fact, it didn't get done 6 months ago that way.
And if he doesn't, I'm just confirming here, you will vote no. Is that correct?
We are hoping, Dana.
That is a yes or no question. Give me an answer.
We are hoping that he will negotiate with us.
And if he
so
doesn't?
far he hasn't. And we've had 2 bills in the House and Senate, and neither of them have passed. Our Democrats are firm. We need to get something done to relieve the distress the American people are in.
Okay, that sounded like a yes, but you can confirm that, and then I want to move on. Is that accurate?
Yeah. The bottom line is we must.
No. He is looking for a way to bend the fucking knee, and it is absolutely infuriating. Democrats stand firm on the ACA subsidies. Senate Democrats shot down a House-passed stopgap bill to fund the government, but not budging on their demands that Obamacare premium tax subsidies be extended ahead of their year-end expiration. This is Chuck Schumer literally helping the Republicans. Because, look, the Medicaid cuts and the food stamp cuts, they're not going to hit until after the 2026 midterm elections. If the ACA subsidies go away, the prices are going to go up within the next month. So he is literally doing the Republicans a favor. And by the way, the Republicans are like, no, we're not even going to give you the subsidies for the ACA. So the Republicans are literally shooting themselves in the foot. And Chuck Schumer is here being the concierge that he is, with his glasses around, his down by his nose, going, here, I'm just trying to help you out here. Here, let me give you a little gift. And, oh, you don't want it? I'm going to write a strongly worded letter. Okay, you don't want it? That's okay. It's fine. Would you like me to bring you a sandwich and a glass of milk? Fuck this guy, man. Fuck this guy. By the way, just a reminder, this was him 6 months ago on the Chris Hayes show. And Chris Hayes is like, hey, man, is democracy under threat? It seems like you guys are not really fighting too hard, and it seems like the Republicans really want fascism. Is democracy under threat?
We'll say, don't give them the votes because you have the leverage. There will be instances, not like this, where a shutdown would ensue, but where we will have the higher ground. And we're going to do it. Watch us.
Okay, but here's what I would say in response to that. And again, I'm channeling people.
He didn't do it.
Yes. Hey, this is a democracy still. Let's hope it stays.
Well, here's what I would say is that all of those things you enumerated, which all sound like good politics to me, are the kinds of things that you'd be doing if Mitt Romney were president. That, like, there's this weird asymmetry right now, which is that they are acting in this totally new way.
Yes.
In which they are ambitiously trying to seize all power and create a presidential dictatorship in the United States of America. And the Democratic opposition is acting like, well, if we can get their approval rate down a few points, then what? What happens?
Well, what happens is, look, first, we get it way down. He's going to have much less. This worked in 2017. You say it didn't.
We are not in 2017 anymore, Chuck. Chuck Schumer thinks it's still 1994. We are not in 2017 anymore. And when he said, we're going to get their approval rating down to below 40%, and then you'll see. Well, now it's at 37%. We're seeing, man, they're not budging an inch.
Now it's a different government.
It's different, though.
Oh, it is different. But healthcare, we beat them. Taxes, we beat them. And guess what we did? Chris? We took back the House and won in the Senate, and then we were allowed to do all those good things. This is not the only tactic. We have to stand strong in certain instances and not give them the votes at all. But there are instances with this. The two work together.
Okay.
Yeah, well, he did give them the votes. And they did cut Medicaid, and they did cut food stamps, and they did increase the budget of ICE over $100 billion. All of the things that he said that if you shut down the government, this is what's going to happen. Well, it happened anyway, Chuck. Pull your fucking glasses up.
Again, I don't disagree with any of that. But the difference to me between 2017 and now, and I've been at this desk for both of them.
It's different.
It is a full-fledged assault on the constitutional order that has not been seen again.
Well, that's
certainly in my life.
That is true.
But the question then becomes...
But that's not the spending part.
That isn't. But then the question becomes, what is the role of the minority in resisting that? That's distinct from, we're going to beat them on healthcare, we're going to beat them on spending Medicaid.
Look, if our democracy is at risk...
It is at risk, yes.
Sorry. It is.
I mean, he's kind of giving the game away. If our democracy is at risk, this is in March of this year. And it was already pretty fucking obvious that our democracy was at risk. And he's like, well, if it's at risk, it is at risk. And then Chris Hayes calls him on it. And look at the look on this dumbass's face.
Certainly at risk.
Well, do you believe it is?
But if
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you believe it's at risk?
Trump doesn't obey the Supreme Court, which may happen, you led up to it.
He doesn't have to disobey the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is giving him everything that he wants. In 2024, he said, if the president says that what he's doing is presidential, then it's legal. They just said that racial profiling is okay now. They are giving Donald Trump everything he wants. The lower courts, the circuit courts, the appellate courts, they're all saying, no, you can't do this. No, it's unconstitutional. Stop doing this. And then it gets to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court goes, whatever the president wants. He doesn't have to disobey the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is capitulating in advance. There is no disobedience necessary.
Then we will have two courts. We will have the federal courts, which hopefully John Roberts will stand up and make it happen. But we'll have the court of public opinion. And if that happens, as you pointed out, we have had rule of law since the Magna Carta. Okay? And
Donald Trump doesn't know what the fucking Magna Carta is. Magna what? I'm going to wipe my ass with it. Whatever it is.
If that happens and the rule of law goes by the wayside, I believe that there will be
hopes and prayers. Look at this guy.
There will be immediate and strong reaction from one end of the country to the other in ways that we have never seen. And that's what will happen. And it's not just up to us. The people will have to rise up, not just Democrats.
I'm not going to do anything. The people need to rise up and do something. I'm just going to sit here with my thumb up my ass and not do jack or shit. Fuck you, Chuck Schumer. Fuck you. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer argued on CNN's State of the Union that Trump is turning the DOJ into an instrument that goes after his enemies, whether they're guilty or not, and that helps his friends. Chuck Schumer warned, this is a path to dictatorship. Dude, we ain't on the path towards it. It's here. It is fucking here. God damn, man, I am heated about this shit. I'm so heated. And here's the other guy, the other weak sauce liberal that is leading our party.
Okay, so let me just look at the broader, let me take a broader look, I should say, at your party right now. There was this recent Reuters Ipsos poll that found that 62% of the Democrats want to see the leadership of your party replaced. Do these sorts of polls make you rethink your approach at all? How do you view this?
Well, I think I understand why people all across the country, not just Democrats, are disturbed by what has been happening in this country and the extremism that has been unleashed on the American people. And we are in what I have referred to often as a more is more environment. We just have to continue to do more, to aggressively.
Who are you talking about? More is more. We have to do more. You haven't done anything. So I guess if you did one little thing, that would be more, but you have done nothing. Nothing. You're going on TV talking about nothing. You're speaking in word salads. You're not doing anything. What is this more is more shit?
Push back against the Trump administration and push back in a manner consistent with American values. More town hall meetings, more protests, more demonstrations, more speeches on the House floor, more speeches on the Senate floor, more hearings that are led by Democrats.
More strongly worded letters. You are not doing anything. You are basically asking, hey, American people, could you help me out a little bit because I don't really have the balls or the wherewithal to do anything. Even though I have all this power, I can't use it because I've got donors and yada, yada, and this and that. And the Democrats, they want us to provide them with health care and higher wages and ending wars and stop funding Israel and all that stuff. But, that's hard. And our donors, they don't really like that kind of stuff. So, we just kind of got to go into these negotiations with our hat in our hand and go, please, 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 don't be so mean to us, Donald. If you provide for your constituents things that they need, they will vote for you. You are literally not doing that. That is why 62% of Democrats want you and Chuck Schumer fucking gone.
Democrats on the Hill, off the Hill, of course, more site visits throughout the country, standing up in defense of the American people, standing up in defense of law-abiding immigrant communities, standing up in defense of those who are vulnerable, pushing back against the rise.
I'm for good
extremism
things and
in
I'm
this
against
country and the
bad
targeting
things.
Of communities of color. We're in a more is more environment, and we have to continue to do more. What I will say is that in special election after special election after special election, we keep winning.
Who's we, man? You ain't got jack shit to do with that. They're winning on their own because they're bringing policy that Americans want. That's the reason why they're winning. Not because of something that you have done. God, this guy is awful. He's horrible. Chuck Schumer refuses to say why he hasn't endorsed Mamdani. Now, I'm stringing these two things together because I think it's very important. Mamdani is very popular. The reason why? Because he's got good policies and he is attempting to provide for his constituents what they need and want. You are not providing that. You are bending over backwards, trying not to do it because you are trying to please your big donors and you're trying not to rock the boat with Donald Trump, as opposed to doing the one thing that you were elected to do, provide for your fucking constituents. So he's not endorsing Mamdani. And by the way, let's go back to this one.
And on another very sensitive political issue in New York right now, several high-profile Democrats have recently endorsed your Democratic Party's candidate, Zohran Mamdani, in the New York City mayoral race. Are you ready, Leader Jeffries, to do the same? And if not, why?
Well, as I've indicated, I expect to have more to say about the mayor's race shortly. You're absolutely correct. The governor...
I expect to have more to say about the mayor's race after the mayor's race is over with and I haven't had to endorse him because my donors don't like him. My AIPAC donors don't like him. AIPAC has contributed $1.7 billion to both Chuck Schumer and to Hakeem Jeffries. Not together, separately. Each one of them have gotten $1.7 million from AIPAC. That's the reason why they're not endorsing Zohran Mamdani. It's this, as I have indicated in the past, every time I'm on the news, people ask me, are you going to endorse Zohran Mamdani? And as I've indicated in the past, I'm going to be getting to that in due time after I have a few more conversations with him, even though I've already had a couple of conversations with him. The reason why people like Zohran is because he is trying to do something for his constituents. You are doing everything you can to fuck your constituents.
Has endorsed the Speaker of the Assembly about a week or so ago, made an endorsement, and over the weekend, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke in the neighboring congressional district, who's a great member of Congress, good friend of mine, made that decision. Everyone makes those decisions on an individual basis in terms of their timing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to make that decision on an individual basis, consulting with other members of the congressional delegation.
Are you going to endorse Zohran Mamdani? Let me give you a 5-minute answer without giving you a yes or no.
And beyond here in New York, and then make the decision on timing. And it's a decision that's coming sooner rather than later.
When can we expect it?
Well, sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Oh, go fuck yourself, man. Seriously, go all the way around the block and fuck yourself. Remember back in 2024, Harris said that she would appoint a Republican to her cabinet if elected. This is not providing for your constituents. This is not what Democrats want. We want fighters. We want somebody to go out there with 10 toes down and say, I'm going to bring you Medicare for all. I'm going to increase your wages. I'm going to increase the minimum wage. I'm going to stop funding Israel. I'm going to do everything I can to curtail all of the bullshit worldwide tariffs that Donald Trump is doing. I am going to put an end to the ICE Gestapo. That is what Democrats want. Not, I'm going to bring a big tent and I'm going to bring in more Republicans. Well, here's something else. Fucking Ezra Klein. Ezra Klein is a Democrat, horseshit, but he calls himself a Democrat. A lot of people call him a Democrat. He writes for the New York Times, and he is all about this abundance strategy, this milquetoast, centrist, neo-lib shit that has given us Donald Trump in the first place. We do not need your weak sauce shit. And this is weak sauce shit right here. We need to run pro-life Democrats to win in Kansas, Ohio, and in Missouri. Meanwhile, in Kansas, Ohio, and Missouri, the pro-choice side won every single abortion referendum. Kansas won by a mile. Won by a mile. Won by, well, maybe not a mile, but they definitely won. And here is what he had to say before I read the rest of this. I want you to just listen to not just the milquetoast of it all, but the vagueness of it all. It's just some amorphous galaxy brain idea, nothing specific. Even though this guy talks about getting granular with shit, he's always speaking in these amorphous terms. And the stakes of politics are almost always incredibly high. I think they happen to be higher now. And I do think a lot of what is happening in terms of the structure of the system itself is dangerous. I think that the hour is late in many ways. My view is that a lot of people who embrace alarm don't embrace what I think obviously follows from that alarm, which is the willingness to make strategic and political decisions you find personally discomforting. I think they meant discomforting, even though they are obviously more likely to help you win. Taking political positions that'll make it more likely to win Senate seats in Kansas, Ohio, and Missouri, trying to open your coalition to people you didn't want it open to before, running pro-life Democrats. Fuck you, man. I'm going to reread the bottom end of this paragraph. I think obviously follows from that alarm, which is the willingness to make strategic and political decisions you find personally discomforting. Notice, all of this, he is not making any strategic or personal political decisions that he finds discomforting, because all of this shit he believes in. What would make him, what would make Chuck Schumer, what would make Hakeem Jeffries uncomfortable is providing Medicare for all, is raising the minimum wage, is cutting funding for the military of Israel, who is actively doing a genocide right in front of our fucking faces. That would be more uncomfortable for them, but they're not making that decision. So instead, you are asking us, the Democratic voter, to make the uncomfortable decision of, okay, well, let's just compromise with a pro-lifer, let's just compromise with a fascist so we get half fascism. Let's compromise with a pro-lifer so we can have half the states getting rid of abortion rights. God damn it, man. These people are weak. They're feckless, and they want us to compromise our morals and our standards as Democratic voters because they refuse to do it themselves. Bloomberg pours more cash into Cuomo super PAC, bringing his total to $8.3 million. So every time you think that, no, these are good Democrats. These are the good ones, man. Andrew Cuomo is taking phone calls from Donald Trump. He's taking billions of dollars, not billions, he's taking millions of dollars from billionaires because they are terrified of paying 2% more in taxes under Zohran Mamdani as mayor of New York. These people are not compromising their politics. They're asking you to compromise your politics. And I say, fuck them. Clear majority of U.S. voters include 3 in 4 Democrats want to end weapons support to Israel. 3/4 of the Democratic Party are done with funding Israel. They're done with Israel's genocide. Now, you could compromise your politics, change some shit around if you really wanted to win. But you don't. You want us to suck on the bitter pill. You want us to compromise our standards. These are much easier things for you to do. You could provide your constituents with what they need and what they want, but you refuse to do that. So now you are relying on us to just go, oh, well, at least they're not the Republicans. I guess I'll just have to bite my tongue and swallow my pride and go out there and vote for Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, even though they do not provide anything for you. They say, I want to give you everything you want, but just not right now. I'm going to sit here chilling with my thumb up my ass, laying in the cut, waiting for the Republican Party to crash out. Meanwhile, when they crash out, the whole country crashes out. What, you're going to stand on top of the rubble and go, okay, now we've got power back after everything has already been fucking destroyed? These people are wretched. They're fucking horrible. They're weak. They're pathetic. They have no good politics. They have no backbone. They are willing to capitulate at any moment's notice. Chuck Schumer is just begging and pleading for the Republicans to just give them one teeny little sliver of a thing. That way they can go, see, we got them to compromise. Meanwhile, all of the other shit that they're doing, cutting into healthcare, cutting into the social safety net, torturing us with ICE and invading our cities with the military and sending bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb to Israel to kill poor unarmed people in our name with our tax dollars. But they want to say, hey, we got a little win, man. They didn't cut into the ACA. Meanwhile, the Republicans are like, fuck you, fuck the ACA, fuck Medicaid, fuck food stamps, fuck everything. We're going to take this bitch down. We're going straight fash, and we don't give a fuck. And Chuck Schumer's like, oh, okay, well, do you mind if I just sit over here in the corner and just kind of twiddle my thumbs? Or do you want me to, go make you a sandwich? Because I'd be happy to do it. I'm really happy to do it. Goddamn, man, we need these bastards out of office. These people suck. I'm sorry I get so goddamn heated over this. It's obvious this topic pisses me off. It should piss you off too. Back in Donald Trump's first term, there was some fight. There was fight from the media. There was fight from the Democrats. Now the media has capitulated. Now that the Democrats are capitulating. Not all of them. There are some good Democrats out there. Your Jasmine Crockett's, your Maxwell Frost, your Ilhan Omar, AOC, and the like. They're actually out there doing some fighting. But the leadership, the ones that are actually making the decisions, the decision they're making is capitulation. And we cannot have it anymore. Now, look, Chuck Schumer is not up for re-election. I believe, goddamn, is he? I think he's not up for re-election until 2028. And I hope that AOC runs against him and unseats that bastard because he has got to go. That guy is terrible at his job. He should absolutely be stepping down from leadership. Some other senator needs to take his place. We can't get rid of him for the next 3.5 years. At the very least, we don't have to see his dumb ass on talk shows anymore, just giving us this fucking drivel of why he's bending over backwards for Donald Trump and his donors. So at the very least, we could get him to fucking step down from his leadership position. But Hakeem Jeffries, he's up for re-election next year. We could be done with Hakeem Jeffries. I hope somebody out there is listening and I hope somebody else out there runs against him because we are done with this weakness. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. Keep rocking.